It's absolutely fundamental that civil society space remains open so that communities of people living with HIV, communities of sex workers, communities of gay men and other men who have sex with men, communities of people who use drugs, and communities of transgender people, as well as communities of young women, of girls, of young people, that all of these communities have the ability to organize. They need to be able to register when possible. They need to be able to operate in safety. They need to be able to mobilize, to educate, to share information, and they need to be free to advocate for the policies that they need to stay alive. We know that the only thing that has worked to move good laws, good environments, enabling environments forward has been investment in communities. And so every time there are restrictions on communities' ability to organize, what we lose is not only those community groups, we lose the broader HIV response. It stops moving in the direction that we need it to move. There's no way that we will reach any of the goals, the 2020 goals or the 2030 goals of ending the epidemic, if we don't fully support the space for communities. Beyond that, we need to fund communities. And so it's a priority for UNAIDS to be able to measure and monitor the funding that goes to communities and to constantly advocate that the funding needs to go to the people in the networks of people living with HIV, the networks of key populations, and those who are working on the ground for the sexual and reproductive health and rights of young women and girls and all key populations. Without that funding, certainly communities will still be there, communities will still do the hard work they have to do, but we know the response is not sustainable if we can't have secure and sustainable funding for community groups.